Your kidneys can lose nearly 80% of their function before obvious symptoms appear. That's one of the most dangerous things about kidney disease. Many people feel completely normal until the damage is already advanced. And in my 26 years of practice, I've seen far too many patients tell me the same thing. Doctor, I had no idea anything was wrong. What's even more concerning is that some of the earliest warning signs are easy to dismiss. Mild swelling in the feet, fatigue, changes in urination, dry skin, poor sleep, muscle cramps. Many people assume it's simply aging, stress, or dehydration, but sometimes your kidneys are quietly asking for help. And one of the simplest ways to support kidney health may already be sitting in your kitchen. Hi, I'm William Lee, and I've been practicing medicine for over 26 years. I've spent much of my career helping patients understand how nutrition affects inflammation, blood vessels, metabolism, and organ health, especially the kidneys, which are incredibly sensitive to what we eat every single day. Today, I want to talk about 5 vegetables that may help support healthier kidneys naturally, especially as we get older. These are not miracle cures, and they are not a replacement for medical treatment, but they are foods I regularly discuss with patients who want to protect kidney function, reduce inflammation, support blood pressure, and improve overall metabolic health. And please stay with me until the end, because number 2 surprises many of my patients. It's a vegetable people often avoid unnecessarily. Before we get into the list, I want to explain something important. Your kidneys are not just filters. They are highly active organs that regulate blood pressure, balance minerals, activate vitamin D, remove toxins, and help control fluid balance throughout the body. Every minute, your kidneys filter about half a cup of blood. That means they are constantly exposed to inflammation, high blood sugar, excess sodium, dehydration, and oxidative stress. Over time, these stressors can silently damage the tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys. And once those delicate filtering units are injured, the body often struggles to repair them completely. Patients often ask me, Dr. Lee, what's the number one thing that damages kidneys? And honestly, it's usually not just one thing. It's the combination of years of elevated blood pressure, processed foods, excess sugar, chronic inflammation, poor hydration, lack of sleep, and sometimes medications taken without proper monitoring. I also tell my patients this every week. Kidney problems rarely start in the kidneys alone. They are often connected to metabolic health. If someone has diabetes, insulin resistance, obesity, chronic inflammation, or uncontrolled hypertension, the kidneys are usually under stress long before symptoms appear. That's why food matters so much. Certain vegetables contain compounds that help reduce oxidative stress, improve circulation, support nitric oxide production, and lower the inflammatory burden placed on the kidneys. Now, let's begin with number 5. Number 5, cabbage. Most people don't think of cabbage as a healing food, but it's actually one of the most kidney-friendly vegetables available. It's naturally low in potassium compared to many other vegetables, which can be helpful for people with more advanced kidney concerns who need to monitor mineral intake carefully. Cabbage is also rich in vitamin C, fiber, and compounds called glucosinolates, which may help the body reduce oxidative stress and support detoxification pathways. In my clinical experience, people who regularly replace processed side dishes with fiber-rich vegetables like cabbage often notice improvements not only in digestion, but also in blood pressure and fluid retention. And that matters, because high blood pressure is both a cause and a consequence of kidney disease. How old are you, by the way, and what city are you watching from? I always enjoy seeing where people are tuning in from, and I do my best to read as many comments as I can. Now let's move to number 4, bell peppers. This one surprises many patients because colorful vegetables are often associated with high potassium, but red bell peppers are relatively kidney friendly while also being packed with antioxidants. They contain vitamin C, vitamin A precursors, and powerful plant compounds that help fight inflammation. One thing I've learned after decades in medicine is this. Chronic inflammation quietly accelerates almost every degenerative condition we worry about as we age, including kidney decline. And inflammation doesn't always announce itself dramatically. Sometimes it shows up as fatigue, brain fog, swelling, poor sleep, joint discomfort, or rising blood pressure. The kidneys are especially vulnerable because they contain dense networks of tiny blood vessels that can be damaged over time by inflammatory stress. Adding anti-inflammatory foods consistently, not occasionally consistently, can make a meaningful difference over the long term. Now, I want to pause for a quick myth versus fact because this is something I hear constantly in clinic. Myth: if my blood tests are normal, my kidneys must be perfectly healthy. Fact: kidney decline can begin years before standard lab results become severely abnormal. Mild elevations in creatinine, changes in urine protein, nighttime urination, or subtle swelling may appear much earlier. That's why prevention matters so much. And if this video is helping you understand kidney health more clearly, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe. I share practical, evidence-based health information like this every week because I want people to catch these problems early before serious damage occurs. Now, here's something important. Not every vegetable is appropriate for every stage of kidney disease. Some patients with advanced kidney impairment may need to carefully monitor potassium, phosphorus, or oxalates depending on their labs and medical history. So while today's foods are generally supportive for kidney health, the details matter, especially if you already have chronic kidney disease, diabetes, or take medications that affect mineral balance. That's also why I encourage people not to follow random health advice online without understanding their individual situation. In the next part, I'm going to go much deeper into the connection between inflammation, circulation, blood sugar, and kidney damage. I'll also share a patient story that completely changed the way one man understood his diet after years of silent kidney stress. And I'll reveal the top 3 vegetables I most often recommend to patients trying to protect kidney function naturally after age 50. One of the most difficult conversations I have with patients is explaining that kidney damage often develops quietly over many years, not weeks, not months, years. And by the time symptoms become obvious, the body has usually been compensating for a very long time. I remember a patient named Robert, a 67-year-old retired mechanic who came to see me because of persistent fatigue and swelling around his ankles. He assumed it was simply aging. He told me, "Doctor, I'm just slowing down." But when we looked deeper, several warning signs stood out immediately. His blood pressure had been mildly elevated for years. His blood sugar was borderline diabetic. He slept poorly, relied heavily on processed convenience foods, and drank very little water throughout the day because he didn't want to use the bathroom too often. What really concerned me was that he also had protein showing up in his urine, an early sign that the kidney's filtering system was becoming damaged. And here's the important part. Robert didn't feel sick. That's exactly why kidney disease can be so dangerous. Over the next several months, we worked on nutrition, hydration, blood pressure control, sleep, and inflammation reduction. And one of the first changes we made was increasing specific vegetables that support vascular health and reduce inflammatory stress on the kidneys. The goal wasn't perfection. The goal was lowering the daily burden placed on those tiny filtering units inside the kidneys. And that brings me to number 3 on today's list: cauliflower. Cauliflower is one of my favorite vegetables for kidney support because it's incredibly versatile while also being rich in fiber, vitamin C, and plant compounds that help combat oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is something I wish more people understood. Every day, your body produces unstable molecules called free radicals. In small amounts, that's normal, but when inflammation, high blood sugar, smoking, poor sleep, stress, and processed foods accumulate over time, oxidative stress begins damaging blood vessels and tissues throughout the body, including the kidneys. The kidneys are particularly vulnerable because they filter enormous amounts of blood every single day. Cauliflower also works well as a replacement for highly processed carbohydrates. Many of my patients use cauliflower rice or mashed cauliflower instead of refined starches, and that simple substitution can help stabilize blood sugar and reduce insulin spikes. And blood sugar control is absolutely critical for kidney protection. In fact, diabetes remains one of the leading causes of kidney failure worldwide. Now let's move to number 2, and this one surprises people all the time: onions. Patients often underestimate onions because they're viewed as flavoring ingredients rather than therapeutic foods. But onions contain quercetin, a powerful antioxidant compound that may help reduce inflammation and support healthier blood vessels. And healthy blood vessels are essential for healthy kidneys. Remember, the kidneys depend on delicate circulation to function properly. Anything that damages blood vessels, uncontrolled hypertension, smoking, insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, can gradually impair kidney performance. I've seen patients make dramatic improvements in blood pressure simply by shifting toward more whole foods rich in natural anti-inflammatory compounds. Now, let's talk about another myth versus fact moment because this one causes a lot of confusion. Myth: drinking more water automatically fixes kidney problems. Fact: hydration matters, but excessive water intake is not a cure for kidney disease. In some patients with advanced kidney or heart conditions, drinking too much fluid can actually become dangerous. I tell my patients this often. The kidneys need balance, not extremes. Healthy hydration supports circulation and waste removal, but it works best alongside proper blood pressure control, blood sugar management, sleep, physical activity, and nutrition. Another question I get constantly is, Dr. Lee, can kidneys heal themselves? The answer depends on the type and severity of damage. Some early functional stress can improve significantly when underlying causes are addressed. I've seen kidney markers stabilize after patients improve their diet, reduce sodium intake, lose excess weight, sleep better, and control diabetes or hypertension more effectively. But advanced scarring is much harder to reverse. That's why prevention is everything, and honestly, many people wait too long because they feel mostly okay. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had symptoms like swelling, foamy urine, nighttime urination, unexplained fatigue, or rising blood pressure. These symptoms are more common than many people realize, especially after age 50. Now, before I reveal the number one vegetable, I want to mention something important about sodium. Most people think kidney damage comes from adding salt at the table, but in reality, the biggest source of sodium is usually processed food. Packaged soups, frozen meals, fast food, processed meats, snack foods, restaurant sauces. In my 26 years of practice, I found that many patients dramatically underestimate how much sodium they consume daily. Excess sodium increases fluid retention and places additional pressure on blood vessels inside the kidneys. Over time, that chronic pressure can contribute to declining kidney function. That's why whole vegetables matter so much. They naturally help displace ultra-processed foods that overload the body with sodium, preservatives, and inflammatory additives. And now, number one, garlic. Garlic may be one of the most powerful foods for supporting cardiovascular and kidney health simultaneously. It contains sulfur compounds that may help reduce inflammation, support circulation, and improve blood vessel function. Some studies also suggest garlic may help support healthier blood pressure levels, which is extremely important because high blood pressure quietly damages kidney tissue over time. What I appreciate most about garlic clinically is that it helps people reduce reliance on excessive salt for flavor. That may sound simple, but it matters enormously. When patients learn to flavor food with garlic, herbs, lemon, onions, and spices instead of heavy sodium, their entire dietary pattern often begins improving naturally, and the kidneys benefit from every one of those changes. If you value evidence-based health information explained clearly, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. I share videos like this every week because small daily decisions can have profound effects on long-term health, especially when it comes to protecting organs we often take for granted. In the next part, I'm going to walk you through a practical kidney support protocol I often discuss with patients over 50. What to eat more of, what to avoid, early red flags that should never be ignored, and when it's time to speak with your doctor before kidney damage progresses further. If you remember nothing else from today's discussion, remember this: your kidneys respond to what you do consistently, not occasionally. I've seen patients spend years searching for one miracle supplement while ignoring the daily habits quietly damaging their kidneys every single day. The one thing I wish more people understood is that kidney health is deeply connected to the health of your blood vessels, metabolism, sleep, hydration, and inflammation levels. Everything is connected. So in this final part, I want to give you a practical, realistic kidney support plan that I often discuss with patients, especially adults over 50 who want to protect kidney function before serious problems develop. Let's make this simple and actionable. Here are the 5 daily habits I believe matter most for long-term kidney protection. Number 5, reduce hidden sodium. Not eliminate all sodium. Reduce the excess. This is one of the fastest ways to lower stress on the kidneys and support healthier blood pressure. Start by paying attention to packaged foods. Many people are shocked when they realize how much sodium is hiding in canned soups, sauces, frozen meals, deli meats, chips, and restaurant foods. I often recommend this simple rule. If a food comes in a box, bag, or wrapper and contains a long ingredient list, eat it less often. Your kidneys prefer real food, fresh vegetables, beans, healthy proteins, fiber-rich meals, simple ingredients, small changes repeated daily can significantly reduce inflammatory burden over time. Number 4, stay hydrated, but intelligently. Patients always ask me, how much water should I drink? There's no single perfect number for everyone. Hydration needs depend on body size, medications, climate, activity level, heart health, and kidney function itself. But many adults live in a constant state of mild dehydration without realizing it. Dark urine, dry mouth, fatigue, headaches, constipation, dizziness. These can all be signs the body needs better hydration. At the same time, forcing excessive water intake is not necessarily healthier. Balance matters. Most healthy adults do well by drinking consistently throughout the day rather than consuming huge amounts all at once. And if you already have kidney disease, heart failure, or take diuretics, fluid recommendations should always be individualized by your physician. Number 3, control blood sugar aggressively. This is absolutely critical. Even mildly elevated blood sugar over many years can damage the tiny filtering structures inside the kidneys. I've seen patients with borderline diabetes slowly develop kidney dysfunction because nobody explained how dangerous chronic insulin resistance can become over time. One of the best strategies is reducing ultra-processed carbohydrates and increasing fiber-rich foods that help stabilize glucose levels naturally. That's another reason vegetables matter so much. They nourish the gut microbiome, reduce inflammation, improve fullness signals, and help moderate blood sugar responses after meals. And don't underestimate sleep here. Poor sleep increases insulin resistance, raises blood pressure, and promotes inflammation, all of which place additional stress on the kidneys. Now let's pause for another important myth versus fact moment. Myth. If kidney disease runs in my family, there's nothing I can do. Fact. Genetics matter, but daily lifestyle habits still have enormous influence over how quickly kidney problems develop or progress. I've seen patients with strong family histories maintain stable kidney function for decades because they controlled blood pressure, exercised consistently, improved nutrition, slept well, and avoided smoking. Your daily habits truly matter. Number 2, watch for silent warning signs. This is where many people miss the opportunity for early intervention. Please do not ignore symptoms like swelling in the feet or ankles, foamy urine, frequent nighttime urination, persistent fatigue, muscle cramps, dry itchy skin, loss of appetite, difficulty concentrating, unexplained nausea, rising blood pressure. These symptoms do not automatically mean kidney disease, but they absolutely deserve medical attention, especially if multiple symptoms occur together. And here's something else important. You can have kidney disease without pain. Many patients assume kidney problems always cause severe back pain. That's simply not true. Early kidney disease is often silent. That's why routine blood work and urine testing can be life-saving. If you're over 50, have diabetes, hypertension, obesity, cardiovascular disease, or a family history of kidney problems, regular screening becomes extremely important. And finally, number 1, protect your kidneys by protecting your blood pressure. High blood pressure is one of the leading causes of kidney damage worldwide. The problem is that hypertension often causes no obvious symptoms for years while silently injuring blood vessels throughout the body. I tell my patients this every week. Healthy kidneys need healthy circulation. Simple daily habits can help tremendously. Walking regularly, managing stress, sleeping consistently, reducing processed foods, maintaining a healthy weight, avoiding smoking, limiting excessive alcohol, eating more potassium-rich whole foods when medically appropriate, and perhaps most importantly, taking prescribed medications consistently if your doctor recommends them. Please don't stop blood pressure medications on your own because of something you read online. I've unfortunately seen serious kidney injury happen after patients abruptly discontinued important treatments. Before we finish, I want to ask you something personally. Have you or someone in your family ever dealt with kidney problems? And were the symptoms obvious or subtle at first? I genuinely read many of your comments, and hearing your experiences helps shape future videos that may help others recognize these warning signs earlier. And if this video helped you better understand kidney health, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications. I share practical, evidence based medical guidance like this every week to help people make informed decisions before small problems become serious ones. Your kidneys work for you every minute of every day, quietly, faithfully, without asking for much in return. Taking care of them now can profoundly affect your energy, cardiovascular health, mobility, and quality of life for years to come.